I love your gray, by the way.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. Listen, I had the opportunity to view the episode featuring you, Charlease, and James. Charlease, you are a hoot. You had me in here literally hollering and laughing out loud.
Don't know what you view. We haven't seen anything.
Yeah, we haven't seen
Oh,
anything
you
yet.
haven't seen what I've seen.
No,
Oh,
Um,
we
oh,
lived
I
it,
have
but we
the
don't
upper
know how
hand.
they cut
yeah,
it.
you got the scoop for real.
You have the scoop.
Oh, okay. So let me tell you how wonderful you both are, okay?
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you.
First of all, the camera loves both of you. You both look absolutely great. But what resonated with me the most as
Okay.
a mother with a son is the relationship between the two of you. I really love seeing that on television and beautifully representing us, okay?
Okay.
So, yes. So, Charlize, let me begin by asking you. You said that you are your son's wing woman. Tell me, what are the qualities of a good wing woman?
Honesty,
Mhm.
um, directness,
Yes. Uh-huh.
protectiveness, having a little protective nature because I know who he is.
Yes.
And I know what he desires. He wants a family. He wants a wife. He wants children. He wants to live a peaceful, productive, happy, fun
Healthy.
life, healthy, fun life
Yes.
with a spouse. And if I see I see some flags, I'm the red flag queen.
You're gonna pray them away.
I'm
Because
gonna
listen, I
pray
done
them
had to
away.
pray a few away from here too, okay? So we are here right there. Now, James,
Yes. Yes.
brother, my heart goes out to you, okay? Because and I say that respectfully, Charlize, because you know you my friend. But I say that because most of us go through the dating process privately, and then we bring that person home to introduce them to our families. Once we think, I don't want to say we deem them worthy, but we feel like the relationship is okay, this is going somewhere. James, brother, you have to go through this entire process with your wing woman right here, and she has the ability to make some decisions
Yes.
on your behalf. So
Yes.
talk to me about that.
Woof. Look, I tell you what, when I asked my mom to be my wing woman, well, as I was typing out this text, I said, look, I know my mom's a straight shooter. I know that she loves me. I know she's gonna look out for me. She can do this, right? Like, look, I
Yeah.
was a little skeptical, but I knew that she was ultimately gonna have my back. My mom and I, like we're road dogs. That's my girl, and I know that she's ultimately gonna want what's best for me, and she wants me to be happy. So I have confidence in my mom.
Yes, absolutely. Have you been working on this spirit of Captain Save 'em? Because your mama said you bring home
Look,
straight.
I tell you, I was Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. Look, I was the Avengers. I was look everybody. Look, I was trying to. The thing about it is, I'm an emotional person, right?
Mm.
So the beauty and all the physical,
Hmm.
that's a bonus, and also that's a requirement, right? So we got to get past that, right? So I want to see, you know what's under the hood, like what are your emotions. And I empathize with people a lot, and I ultimately just want the best, and if I can help in any way, I want to. Like, if you're gonna lead a family, you need to be a servant leader, right? Those are the best leaders. I want to be able to notice something. Okay, my baby needs me in this way. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna be there. And I mean, that's being there physically or being there emotionally. So I don't like to give up on people quickly, but
Oh, you need to.
once it
I
once
see you
it
up there.
once you get to that point where I'm like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, it's done.
Yeah, I had to share quite often. You can't be Holy Spirit Junior. You can't fix everybody's problems. Everybody hasn't been raised the same, and
Yes.
what the one thing that I didn't like in a previous relationship is, just because you weren't raised the same way, then they want to hold that against you because you didn't struggle, you didn't go through the
Oh,
struggle
yeah.
and strain that they went through. Oh no, boo, no, 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 no,
We don't need trauma bonds. We don't need that.
no. And that's part of the. I tell him all the time, you got to type, and in this type, there's some red flags.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And,
I sure know how to pick them, right?
I think I peeped your type too, James.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you?
Because
Did you?
the way you lit up. See, I've seen things you haven't seen.
Oh, look, hold on now.
I'm laughing because you know what I'm
I
talking
can't
about.
control my face. Look, my
No,
mom is saying that she can't control her face, and I got that exactly from her.
yeah,
Look,
brother. The way you lit up like a Christmas tree on Christmas Eve, I said, "Oh, there it is."
I gotta see this
Ooh.
show. I want to see what you
I
saw.
know. I
look,
know. We need to have a watch party because you
Damn.
two. So I've watched 2 episodes, and
What?
you two,
you got to
yeah,
see
and
too.
y'all got to start hanging with me.
Look, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I've seen 2 episodes, and I'm sorry, I literally have tears coming out my eyes. I'm sorry. Um, when you came, the way I laughed, I was so happy I was home by myself because I literally was in here hollering, and I said, I
What
cannot wait to
happened?
talk to Charlease.
What did I do?
Oh, girl, you're so funny. And it's like your face. And you know what's so funny about you and so genuine? And that's one of the things that I really appreciate about you is that you look for authenticity in people. And you want someone who's going to be real, which is absolutely perfect. And that's really great for you, James, because sometimes when the boobs is sitting and the hair is laid and your mama said, oh, she could need to pull that. She need to fix that dress. I said, oh, Lord.
They caught that?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop. Spoiler alerts. But it's just, sometimes we get caught up in the physical when your mom, she can see, and women can read women a little better sometimes than you all can because
Definitely.
look at Charlese's face.
No, I've learned that. I've seriously learned that because like guys, we think in different ways altogether. And with relationships that haven't worked out, I've tried to learn from them. I always try to learn from things that, go well and things that don't go well, right? And one of the things I had to learn is like, my mom ain't no best sometimes.
Okay. All
But
right.
she always wants the best for me, so I understand. So yeah.
Oh no,
Absolutely.
and so you can get a little perspective.
Yes.
I am a little overprotective of my children in general.
Mm-hmm.
But in this process, there was a little light bulb that went off, and we were having a discussion. And when I gave birth to him, I didn't bring him home. He had to stay in the hospital.
Okay.
And he had a hole in the lower left chamber of his heart. His valve wasn't functioning right. He actually had jaundice. And it was one other thing with his heart. And I fought tooth and nail. They did allow me to stay an extra day. But coming home after giving birth, because your hormones are everywhere.
Yes.
And you don't have your baby, that's a whole nother level. And so that's part of where my protective nature comes in, because of the start of life. And then I just want to make sure, like I would tell him and my daughter all the time, nobody wants the best for you more than your mother and your father.
God,
Outside of God, James Harris.
I had to say it, man. I had to say it.
But no,
Amen.
but I'm just saying, so
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I am not going to purposely try to lead you in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the producers came up to me and she was like, Mom, what am I missing? You keep saying, just be yourself, just be yourself. And I'm like, you're not missing anything, but I'm not impressed by the boobs. I'm not impressed by the clothes. I'm not impressed.
Right.
I want them to be as authentic and as genuine as they possibly can. I don't do fake. I don't do phony. I just don't. And so at the end of the day, who you are will come out. You can
Yes.
only fake it for so long.
The
Yes.
representative. I call it the representative. The person, uh-huh,
That's not
see,
like Uncle
girl,
LC.
call
We
me
meeting
later.
your representative.
The
That's
representative, that representative will show up. And it's funny, it's always hard for some to spot the representative in the early stages of dating because while you're getting to know each other, you're telling each other what you want in a relationship. So it's like, all right, bet. Okay, okay, bet. Okay, bet. So then they know I need to be all of these things to get you.
Right, right. Yeah.
See, mom on the outside looking in, see.
see,
So she
Mhm.
and that's the
full
thing.
picture.
That's the thing. It's like if I'm dating somebody, I'm gonna be me regardless, right?
Right.
Like I feel like I've worked on myself in a lot of different ways. You know, like even my homeboys, they gave me some feedback one time, and I was like, wow, I didn't even think about it like that. And it took some years for me to work on myself to get to a different level of operating, right?
Yeah.
And I look, I'm proud of who I am and the things that I've been able to accomplish, you know, thanks to God. But at the end of the day, it's just like I'm gonna be myself in every situation. I'm not gonna take notes and be like, okay, you said you like this, so I'm gonna fake trying
Yeah.
to be like this to get you to then retract that later and then be somebody else. That's a waste of time. That's how time is wasted. That's how energy and emotions are wasted, and I don't have time for that.
And that's where mama come in and pray some folks away.
Okay, pray them away. You got to pray them away. Now, let me just speak to that really quickly because you know I could talk to both of you all day long. I really love the fact that in the episode, it was your love of God was present
Mhm.
without it being overwhelming, right? Because
Thank
it's almost
you.
like it's almost like my grandmama always used to say, I can see the God in you, right? And I
Okay.
could see the God in both of you.
Okay.
And I love that because it just shows James that you come from some good stock. You
Good
come from
stuff.
some really good
Thanks.
stock. And so I just wanted to speak to that just moment. No questions or anything about that. I just wanted to just tell both of you that it was beautiful to see the God in both of you
Thank
in
you.
that, in the episode that I did see.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
think, you know what? God has a way of answering prayers because I'm a part of a Bible study group, and that was my prayer request that I
Mhm.
submitted for this week is that in this show,
Yeah.
that people will see who God is through us,
Yeah.
so thank you. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
Yes,
answered prayer.
absolutely. Absolutely. So I have one last question before I let you guys go.
Sure.
My question is for you. I'll start with you, James, because I'll talk to your mama all day. Okay.
Hey, look.
My
She
question
will
for
talk to you all
you,
day too.
I know, your girl, just call me back later. My question for you is what is a quality or the most important quality when dating that you look for in a potential mate?
I feel like faith is definitely one that, we've spoken about that.
Mhm.
I'll give you another one, and I think it'll be support. Support comes up in many different ways. Whether that's, just noticing body language or just understanding that, I may have had a hard day, or I understand that you have a hard day, right? Just
Mhm.
being willing to go the extra mile for your person because it's a partnership, right? You guys are going to take on life together. This is the most important decision that we're going to make in our lives. And um, we got to support one another through that. So, like I said, it comes in many different ways. But at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is success. And I want to have a successful relationship and I want to be happy. I want it to be a healthy relationship, to where, we can bring up kids in a healthy environment because that's so important these days. Uh, I came up the way that I did. And, when I actually started dating, I didn't date in high school, I dated in college. And when I actually started dating, I found out that people weren't raised like me. So it was a huge shock to understand, where other people come from. Because I wear my heart on my sleeve a lot of the times, and it, got taken advantage of a couple times. People played on my emotions and things like that. But at the end of the day, like, I guess it's like war wounds, right? You live through some battles, you live through some fights, and ultimately you get stronger and you're able to determine who you want to be with and what things to look for in a partner. And I mean, I think that the support aspect of things is very, very important.
And I agree with that. One of the things, and it may be a little, I don't know if it's too much, but I'm just gonna say it because it is what
Okay.
it is.
No filter.
No, but
I'm just saying.
so what I try to communicate with the young girls, especially, you know, my kids know it's more than just being there. It's being there when times are tough.
Yeah.
Right. And beauty is great, you know, but beauty is fleeting. And because I've had cancer, because I've done chemo and radiation and went from 170 pounds to 134 pounds, what hit me when James was talking was an instance, and James, you'll remember this. It was December 19th, 2014. I woke up and it was just a bad day. And I was so weak and I couldn't understand. And I was going through chemo treatments and I called your dad in and I told him, I said, something isn't right. So he took me to it was around Christmas time too, because I think they were all here. And and we went to the doctor's office and they sent me straight to the emergency room. And I had to have a blood transfusion. And having that blood transfusion, I was already on my cycle. And so I was so severely anemic that my body was just dealing with so much. And this is the type of dude that you need. I said my cycle was on, right? The nurse said, well, Mr. Hatchett, you can leave the room and we'll change your wife. And he looked at her and said, oh, no, no, no.
Yep.
And she was like, well, I mean, but I was going to take her in the shower. And he said, I got it. And when I'm finished, I'll call you. Now, this is key and critical because my husband has a blood aversion, period. Like, he don't like to watch stuff on TV. It's bloody and all. He'll just like, oh, my goodness.
He doesn't even like to talk about things at dinner. We're eating. Let's not talk
what my
about
husband did was he changed my sanitary napkin. He cleaned me up. He did what he needed to do because he was there for me in a time where I need him. And that's what I tell any young person. You need to be able to change your wife's sanitary napkins. You need to be able to give your husband a suppository. You need to be able to do whatever you need to do to be there for your mate because you're in it for life until death part.
Yep.
So those are the type of characteristics that I try to share with my children to look for in somebody that's going to be there for you, that's going to show up for you and not going to run when something gets difficult.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Listen, James, you are set up for success with this woman by your side. You do know that, right?
That's my wingwoman. That's why I said, hey, come on with me.
Listen, Charlease, where you was at when I was dating? Because girl, no, I'm kidding. No, don't let my husband see that, okay? But just thank you so much. I am so excited just to watch this journey, to see more of you on television. Maybe we can get a spinoff or something because I need more of James and Charlease. But
you tell
definitely.
Them
yeah, I'm gonna tell him. I'll send a little email.
No, but I appreciate that. I only did this show because he asked me to be his wingwoman. I had no idea. I mean, our friends would tell us all the time, y'all need your TV show because y'all crazy. But I never, ever, ever imagined. And so at the end of the day, I got my son's back. I'm going to support him. And he knows that and I as his mom, only want the best for him. So watch the show so you can see the journey, and you've seen some things that we haven't seen yet.
I know. I love that for me. But listen, James, you may be on somebody's son premiering April 12th on OWN at 9 p.m., but you are definitely a queen's son. So
I know that.
Ooh, yes.
So it's a pleasure speaking to you. If you ever want to come back, I welcome you both with open arms. It was such a pleasure speaking to both of you today.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate your energy.
Thank you. We appreciate it.